More negative. Are we ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay.
Hi, my name is Aileen, and today I'm going to talk about my design project. So first I want to talk about the previous assignment that we did in this term. This is the poster from my midterm project, and so for this term I'm mainly focused on the private space and public space and find the relationship, how they comes together, and how to private space create public space. So for the half of the term, I use two private space, and when they overlap together, and it creates a public space. Next, and for this half of the term, we first begin with two.
Excuse me, why do you have all that text? Can you read that?
Yeah, I can.
You can read it? Can you read it from here? So why do you have all that text? It's way too small and
I
complicated.
think it's because of the projector.
You're blaming the projector? Okay.
So we start with two clients, and that for my two clients, I choose one of the female blend writer, and another one is the female modern dance teacher. And I list all the activities and personal information of them, and so there's the activity that they will do. For the writer, she writes at most of the time, and she can cook, but in a very large dining room. And she she loves to enjoy the sunshine and play with her guide dog, and also she needs a large space to read books and listen to music. And in the box, I list a space that might need for each of the activities. And this is my section, and this is the abbreviation of my model. So that you can see, I use the dark hatch to show the space for the writer, and the light hatch to show the space of the dancer. In the first floor, there is a writing studio for the writer, and the staircase to go to the second floor. And the second floor is the private library for the writer, and also a restroom for the public people, for the students who go to the dancing class. And for the third floor, there's a dancing studio and also the dressing room for the students. Next. And this is what I come first to my mind when I list my two clients. So basically my project is start with the L shape, and I use three L shape and lock them together to create a space, and the center of the model shows the public space, and it's open space. And then
So why did you choose an L? Why did you? I have my card here. Why did you choose the L shape?
it's just come to my mind. And actually that is from my previous drawings, but I didn't show.
Okay.
After I come to the very abstract 3L shape, I try to put my model into the site. I forgot to introduce the overall location of the building is from the Pratt townhouse, and there are 2 townhouses there, and we remove one in the between, and we put our new project into it. So we must fix the size of the townhouse. And I use the width of the townhouse to cut through my original model. And as you can see that I show the movement of both people. So the top part is for the dancer, and the bottom part is for the writer. And I list all the space. And here you can see that how I organize my model into two townhouse. So this face is doors. So I put my townhouse as this position so that the light can go through it from the openness. And next.
I have a question.
Okay.
How did you get from the L shape to this image?
So for this one, I just use the size of the townhouse to cut through the three L shapes. If you want to see, you can go back to the three L shapes. Yeah. So it's like cut here. Yes. And for the original model, the public space for it is only on the center of the house. But then I found out a way that how to make the public space into the private space to connect the concept from my previous assignment that two private space when they overlap together to create the public space. But for this one, I put the public space into the private space, but they didn't disturb with each other's. And you can see the hash part is the public space, and the top of the public space is a park for all the dancing students and also for the writers. And for the bottom part is totally public space. It's a dining space for all the people that when you walk by it, you can enter it and just go through it and just goes out. Yeah. And this is the image for my model and for the room, but this is not the final one during the process. But the overall technique I use to create the model is the loop. And I use two direction loops to show the two different spaces for two clients. So you can see for the vertical direction is for the writer, and for the horizontal direction is for the dancer. And by the two different directions, I create two different directions wall. So for this size, for the writer is more open than the dancer because the writer didn't want the people that who walk through it to see from the inside. But you can see through the space for the writer at the top of the nearby townhouse. And also by the loops techniques, it allows light to go through it, so the light condition will affect by the times of the sun. And for this image is the technique I use to create a public space, the floor of the public space. I follow the rule create from here. So in this part is follow the writer's rule that is vertical direction. And for this part, this entrance is follow the dancer's route is horizontal direction. But I show that how they slightly comes together to create a public space. Yeah, that's it.
Questions?
Except that we need to record the